Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another holiday countdown tumbler tutorial. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving and I hope you're excited for the last little leg of this series. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use scrapbook paper on your tumblers to create a really beautiful Christmas tumbler design. Of course, you can take this technique and apply it to any theme or holiday or whatever you want to do. But I hope it's helpful for you. I had a lot of fun making this cup and I hope you all enjoy the tutorial. As always, I'll have a full supply list down below in the description box for you. I'll have some discount codes, links to all my social media pages, a link to join my Facebook group, and a link to sign up for my exclusive mentorship group, BAMF Elite. In that group, I provide a bunch of additional content. We do lives in our Facebook group every week. We do Zoom calls where we can all just kind of hang out, do live classes, that kind of stuff. I give out a lot of digital files. We do cup swaps, all kinds of fun stuff happening in that group. So if you want more information, you can go to madebymannyandmal.com/mbmm elite. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you all enjoy the video. Let's go. I'm using a 30-ounce skinny straight tumbler today, and the scrapbook paper I'm using is this really pretty gold and black and white plaid pattern. This is from Hobby Lobby, but of course you can use any scrapbook paper that you have lying around, or you can buy new, whatever. So what we're going to do is start by cutting our scrapbook paper down to fit the area we want to put it in on the tumbler. So I'm not going to do a full wrap on this cup. I want to leave maybe about 1.5 inches at both the top and the bottom of the cup where we can glitter later. So I'm going to kind of eyeball here how big I want my scrapbook paper piece to be. I'm going to mark it on the paper with a Sharpie, and then I'm going to use my paper trimmer to trim that paper down. And then I'm going to take this little strip and place it in the middle of my cup. Now, if you want to measure, go for it. I'm just eyeballing and going until it looks right to my eye. So I'm just going to eyeball again, make sure that the top and bottom sections look even to me. And then we will cut off this little excess at the seam. I don't want to have too much overlap at the seam because it will just make everything thicker and then the cup might feel kind of like lopsided or off. So I'm going to cut off most of that. I still want a tiny bit of overlap, but not too much. I'm going to use Mod Podge to adhere my scrapbook paper to my tumbler, but if you want to use a different adhesive, go for it. I'm using Mod Podge because it dries really quickly and we can do all of our layers in a short amount of time. So I poured some Mod Podge on the back of my paper and I'm using this foam brush to just spread it all over the scrapbook paper. And I'm going to make sure that I've got a really even, thin layer here. You don't want too much. You don't want it to be like gloppy or anything. And then I'm going to take my tumbler and I'm going to lay it on the paper like where I want the paper to be positioned, as you can see here. And then I'm just going to roll my paper up in the scrapbook paper, essentially doing a wrap here. So I'm going to make sure that everything is well stuck down. Now, I am extremely proud and also surprised that I got everything lined up perfectly on the first try. If you don't have it straight, just peel it off right away and you can try again. Just don't obviously let the Mod Podge dry or it will be a nightmare to get off. You'll ruin your paper and you'll have to start over with a new piece. So if you mess up the application in the beginning and your Mod Podge is still wet, you can take it off and reposition, no problem. So once the paper is wrapped around the cup, I'm going to go right in with a second coat of Mod Podge to seal it in on top. And then I'm going to let that dry for about an hour, hour and a half, and then come back and do another coat. I'm going to repeat this same process 2 more times. So over our scrapbook paper, we will have 4 layers of Mod Podge, and I'm letting them dry at least an hour in between each coat. So after my layers are all dry, this is what my cup looks like. The scrapbook paper's on there, it's good to go. And now we're going to glitter the top and the bottom of our tumbler. I'm going to use my Crystal glitter glue as the adhesive for my glitter, but again, use whatever adhesive you want. And I'm not going to base paint this section of the tumbler because I'm going to use Athena from Peachy Olive Glitters, and the silver of our stainless steel is a fine base for Athena. So I'm going to do a thin layer of the glitter glue, go in with my glitter and glitter the entire bottom section, including the very bottom, and then I will repeat that exact same process on the top portion of the cup. Now, one thing I didn't do that I normally do if I'm using vinyl or something is tape off the paper. I didn't want to risk putting tape on it and then pulling up the Mod Podge or messing anything up, so I was just really careful when I added my glitter glue Did my best to not get any glitter glue on the paper because I wanted to keep those lines with the glitter as clean and as crisp as possible. Once my glitter is all applied, I'm going to tap off the excess and then brush off any glitter that might have strayed onto our plaid section. I'm going to let this sit and dry then for 2 hours, and then I'm going to seal those glitter sections with my normal sealer, just a 50-50 mix of the Crystalac glitter glue and water. And then I'm going to add 2 coats of epoxy to my tumbler. Each coat is about 20 milliliters, and I'm using my Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Fast Cure Epoxy. And of course, you can use code Mallory10 to save 10% at Flynn Sisters Supply Shop. That's in epoxy, rhinestones, vinyl, all of that stuff. So once my epoxy layers were cured, I went through and I did some sanding on the glitter sections of the tumbler. The area where the scrapbook paper is didn't really need to be sanded down too much, so I just did a super light sanding there, washed the cup with dish soap and water, and now I'm ready to go in with all of my vinyl details. So starting with my striping here, I'm taking my champagne gold textured metallic vinyl from Tech Wrap Craft. I made these stripes at 0.2 inches in width, and I'm going to wrap them around where the scrapbook paper and the glitter meet. And then I'm going to take this really pretty green metallic chromy vinyl. This is from BAMF Custom Creations. It's the same type of vinyl as the red chrome vinyl that I've used in the past couple tutorials I've done. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to use that on the outside of the gold stripe, so on the gold glitter section. We're going to add some red later, but we're going to do this green area first. So I'm going to do a triple layer offset decal here. So starting with our very bottom layer, I'm using that same green chrome vinyl, and I'm going to put that down right in the center of my tumbler. I made this decal, I think, maybe 5¼ inches in height. And this is from Beck McCormick at Creative Fabrica, so I will have that link down below if you want to use the same file. But I'm going to put down my green layer first, and then I've got a just plain black, like permanent vinyl, nothing special about this. I'm going to lay this down next, and now this black layer just acts as a little bit of a shadow for the vinyl that's going to go on top. It just kind of makes it pop off the background a little more. Totally optional, but I really like doing this when I'm doing like multi-offset layering decals. Then the next layer we're going to do is our gold chrome. So this is the same vinyl as the red and the green, the gold metallic from BAMF. And I'm going to lay this down right over that black, and you can see it just gives it that little extra bit of pop. So from here, I'm going to do a coat of epoxy over my vinyl before I add all of my red details. That is totally optional. You don't have to do that, but I was just feeling like I wanted to seal it all in and do the layer just in case. Like, I just wanted everything to be protected. So now that we've got this layer of epoxy on, we can go in with the red vinyl. I'm going to use just regular plain old red vinyl here. We've got the gold chrome and the green chrome, and I didn't want to just like do a lot all chrome, you know what I mean? So I'm using regular plain old red vinyl here. And I'm going to add a stripe that's the same size as the green. I made these 0.12 inches in height, I believe. And I'm going to put it on the inside of the gold striping, so on the plaid section. And then I'm going to add my top main layer decal. This is just the regular old SVG, no offset, nothing. And I'm just going to put that right on top of the gold. And I really love how this like just brings the whole thing kind of up a notch. Like, it felt really flat with the gold and just the green, and I feel like it needed that pop. So the red did that, and I'm really, really happy with it. So once I've got all the vinyl on, I'm going to go right into my final coats of epoxy. I didn't seal my vinyl, but you totally can if you want to. I just went right into epoxy though, and everything was fine. So after those final 2 coats, we are all done. Here is the final result. I really love how festive this is, but also not too loud and in your face and like aggressive. It's just a simple, classic, traditional Christmas tumbler. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for another holiday countdown video. And that's it. Love you. Bye.